This is the TTQ wireless HDMI transmitter and receiver. Let's take it out of the box. In the box you get the manual. They give you two USB cables, USB to USB-C right there. They give you an HDMI extension cable, HDMI to a female HDMI plug. There are two adapters here to convert from HDMI to mini HDMI and micro HDMI, and the transmitter and the receiver. These just have a cap with a nice tight fit, so they will stay on there. USB port over there, HDMI port over there. So with that said, let's talk about what this can do. This will wirelessly transmit an HDMI signal from a source. That could be a computer, it could be a cable box, a DVD player or Blu-ray player, Roku, anything that's got HDMI that you would normally hook to your TV or something like that. You put the transmitter into that port, and then the receiving device, typically a monitor or a television, or it could also be a projector, you plug the receiving end into. Now some HDMI ports will provide power, so you could just plug it in like that and it'll go. In the event that it either doesn't supply power or the power is insufficient, then you will also need to plug in the USB cables. You supply your own USB power. It could be from the device itself if it has a USB port, or something like a cell phone charger, like that. These support a 4K input, but will only output up to 1080p. So the output picture you're going to get is 1080p. If the input was 4K, it's going to be downscaled to 1080p. Obviously, if you put in a 1080p, it's going to output 1080p, so that's all fine and good. It's got a 100-foot transmission range. Now, that's line of sight. If you have walls in the way, or doors, or any other obstructions like that, you will get less. It's that simple. It varies on a case-by-case basis, so there's no way to tell exactly how far it's going to go. The receiver supports up to 8 different transmitters. So if you and your coworkers all give presentations, let's say, then you could each buy one. Everybody has their own transmitter, and the one receiver would be left plugged into the projector, and everybody can connect to it in turn. There are buttons on here to pair the devices. They are paired from the factory. You can also press that button to instantly disconnect from the source for privacy reasons or anything like that. What's really nice about them is they are plug and play. There's no app, there's no Bluetooth, and no Wi-Fi required. You plug it in and it simply works. I'm going to get a monitor, and I have an Android TV box that I'll plug in, and we'll plug the transmitter receiver in and see how it works. So here is the Android TV box, like I had stated before. It's simply plugged into the HDMI port. Now, something to point out, how do you know if your HDMI port has power? Well, there's a little light in the button here. So when you plug it in, if you get no light, then you're going to need the USB cable. This, I've already tested it, does power through the HDMI port, so it requires no USB cable. It's just like that, just that little stick, kind of like a flash drive looking thing that you plug in, and that's it. It transmits. Let's go to the receiving end. And on the receiving end, this is kind of an old TV. This does not supply power through HDMI, so I need to use the USB cable, which is plugged in right up there to one of those little cell phone type jobbies, because this thing don't even have USB on it. I'm going to point the camera at the monitor here, and then we will go ahead and plug in the Android TV box, and you can see it boot up and display a picture. Okay, I have the TV connected and plugged in. This is the display that you get on screen when there is no picture. I'm now going to plug in the Android TV box, and we can see that boot up. Okay, that's plugged in. It takes a few seconds for it to start booting up. And there we go. Now let's put on a quick video. Are you going shopping? Or did we just pick you up? What is the cat deal? All by yourself. You just went in there. Say hello to YouTube. Oh, yes. Yes. All right, go back in your bag. Go back in the bag. That's a good boy. So that worked fantastic. It's transmitting the signal wirelessly just by plugging it in. It is truly plug and play. Absolutely fantastic for doing presentations. If you're in an office or something like that and have to give presentations, or a school or something, it's real nice because, you know, we've all had those little controllers that are wireless, and they have the little red light in them, the laser pointer in that, and it's just inconvenient to control with those things. So now you can actually sit there with your laptop and run the presentation right from there. You can hit the spacebar or arrow keys or use the mouse or whatever you want to make it actually go the way that you want it to. So it's excellent for that. Or how about backyard movie night? You can have your Blu-ray player right inside, and right on the outside there you have a projector set up, and you can display a movie onto a projection screen right in your own backyard without having 74 cables running out the door. Pretty nice all around. So once again, this was the TTQ wireless HDMI transmitter and receiver. If you'd like to purchase this item, I'll leave a link in the video description where you can find the item available for sale on Amazon. Thanks for watching. Make sure you click like, make sure you click subscribe, and take care. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.